What's good, YouTube? What's going on? What's going on? It's been a minute since I've been on this mug. This mug. I usually don't talk like that. I used to talk like that though. Definitely used to say mug a lot. What's good? Or no, what would I do? I'd be like, this mug boring. Like, mug. I don't know if you guys know that lingo. It might be a black thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm half black, so I kind of got best of both worlds. I got both personalities. Sometimes the blackness comes out. Sometimes it stays behind the scenes. It just depends on the vibe, depends on the people I'm around, depends on how I'm feeling. Anyway, sorry for that rant. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on here. Finally, pretty much settling in the new spot, in the new state, across the country. And very different. Still kind of feels like vacation in a way, just because, moving across the country at 26, especially being in one state, living there your whole life, it's kind of crazy. So I'm still getting accustomed to things, meeting different people out here. It's been cool. I like the vibe though. It's just hot. It's hot, and unfortunately, there's a lot of homeless people. And I don't like that because back in Milwaukee, there was homeless people, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't as visual, I guess you could say. Like it didn't really set into my reality because I didn't see it often. But out here, man, you're gonna run into it one way or another, unfortunately. And it kind of sucks how much of it there actually is, which is very unfortunate because the fact that I'm seeing that, it's like that could be a possibility for people's reality. But at the end of the day, it's like I know I'm not going to get to that point. No hate on those people because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff they're going through, they're battling. At the end of the day, it just sucks seeing that so often. It's just sad, I don't know how else to really explain that, but people gotta get out of their headspace and fight through that stuff. And sometimes it takes some people. Sometimes people are willing to do that. Sometimes people aren't willing to do that, and that just depends on the individual. Everyone's in their own little world. Oddly enough, literally, like everyone living in a different world. It's weird. It's weird to think about, especially when you're more open to things. You see things a little differently than others. But at the end of the day, like I said, it is what it is. People go through stuff that change them, and that's just that's just life. I just wanted to touch on this. The main topic of this video is going to be being positive, positivity in general. Kind of went on a rant in the beginning there, but that's cool because I kind of like just getting stuff out sometimes because when people don't understand you and you're trying to like explain to them and help them understand what I'm saying, because essentially I'm trying to benefit everyone that I interact with. And I think that's a big point in life, is just benefiting off of others in any way possible. And I think that's where the best relationships are formed, is if you're each benefiting off of that other person. Because other than that, if you're not getting anything from someone else, this is how I see it. If you're not getting anything, any benefit from someone, like really, what's the point in that relationship? Like, is there really any, like, what's the point of it? I don't even know how else to explain it. It's just like, do you really need to be, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, anything, like, do you really need to be associated with someone who doesn't really kind of help you in any way? Each person should benefit regardless. Back to positivity. So I think from my experience, the more positive you are, the more positive things you get out of in life. Whatever you send out in the world, it gets sent back to you. So if you're gonna be negative, like, you're gonna get a lot of negative situations, a lot of negative people, a lot of things that are gonna trigger you. And that could be an opportunity for you to work on those things, which is great because then you can grow from that and expand and then just become a better version of yourself and become essentially the person you want to be, which then leads up to the life you want to live. Don't get me wrong, like lately I've been feeling great. I'm still, trying to figure things out in a sense with business things and trying to get the hang of things more so, and just staying consistent and disciplined with that. Discipline and consistency, that's what's going to get you far in life. Yes, I've been doing a lot. I've been posting a lot. I've been doing more than I'm used to, and I think just being around certain people, certain things just help me boost that confidence, that desire, and that wanting to be better and wanting to strive to be the best and get to my goals and all that kind of stuff. This video was supposed to be about positivity, but I'm kind of just ranting and letting things out. I hope this is helping someone watching this because Essentially, this is kind of like a therapy session for me. I have different thoughts about therapy. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll talk about it a different time. But yeah, positivity. I think there's just so much good that comes out of it, obviously, but a lot of people are stuck in the comfortability. I don't know if I said that right. They're stuck in the comfort, comfortability. I don't know, of being negative, and I once was that person. Like, don't get me wrong, I used to be very negative. I used to look at things like, oh, this is probably not going to work out, or I'd create a scenario in my head like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work, yada yada yada. You get the gist of things. And ever since I kind of just switched that mindset, that mindset shift, like of just being positive, hoping and praying like everything's going to work out, and this is happening for a reason, and like it is what it is, like I'm not going to let it affect me. Just staying positive like throughout the day, just everything just seems like it's just coming together. And yeah, I want it to come together faster, but just like even doing regular stuff, I don't know, it just more fulfilling, it's more fun, it's easier, it just flows, it doesn't feel like a job, like it doesn't feel like work, it just feels like I'm getting better. That's literally what it feels like, and I'm like addicted to it. Just knowing you're doing what you need to do, and yes, you can always be doing more, I believe. That's what I beat myself up on, is I always want to do more, and because I think doing more is going to get me further faster. And yeah, that's true, but at the same time, like things will happen regardless, as long as you're doing what you need to do. That's really all that matters. Time will show how much work you're actually putting in and how much you truly want it. Because if you're doing something for a year and it's just year 2 years and you're not really getting much out of it, then clearly you need to be, figure out a different way to do it, doing more, or whatever the case may be. But when you know you're really like doing a lot and you feel that, you're like, yes. And then you can actually enjoy doing things. One thing I've really struggled with is when you know you should be doing more than you are, yet you're not doing it. When you do go out and like do things, you go out here and there, or you're just doing regular stuff, uh like going to a driving range or bowling alley with friends or something, yet you didn't do this thing that you said you were going to do that day. Like, it eats at you, and I'm going to tell you that I've been one to do that. Like, we'd be going out or whatever the case is, in the back of my head and in like my gut, I'm just like, this is not fulfilling right now. Like, I should have did what I said I was going to do. That's really affected me in the past. And I would kind of say this is more of it as of recent. I kind of gotten over that hump a little bit. But you live and you learn, and you have to like be aware of that. And I think that's a big thing too. Being aware of like how you're feeling and why you're feeling the way you're feeling is very key to like moving forward. Because if you're not aware, you're unaware. Like, you don't know what you don't know. But when you do become aware, I think the key is just to figure out a way and to push through that uncomfortable feeling. And when it gets hard, like, learn to push through that, because the more you do something, even if it takes a little longer than others, and I've noticed that for me, the more I do something in the beginning, yeah, it feels like work. But as you do it more and more and more, and that's something you truly think that you want in your future, it will get easier. I find posting being a lot easier now, and content just kind of comes to me. Like, I really don't even think about what I'm going to post until it's that day. And lately it just kind of flows. Like, I mean, I'll look things up or look at other creators and see like kind of what they're posting, just to kind of get ideas if I'm kind of stuck or whatever, which is fine. Like, whatever works, right? At the end of the day, like, the more I do something, and the just staying consistent with it, it just becomes easier and easier. And then it just feels like, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like, okay, I want to give this to people. I want the people to see this. It's kind of like that with working out, right? I hated working out in the beginning. Absolutely dreaded it. I just did it because I didn't want to be fat, even though I was still kind of fat. I wasn't like obese, but I was up there. And then as I kept working out, I just fell in love with it, and not just for the aspect of looking good, but just mentally, it helped me escape from things. Um, and like, literally now when I go to the gym, it's flow state activated. Like, I'm just in there. I'm in there long, but like it doesn't feel long. Like I could literally spend the whole day at the gym talking to people, meeting people, it's just a vibe for me. I don't know. Sometimes when you're doing something you love to actually do, it just feels like you're in flow. Like this is where I should be. This is where I need to be. I don't know. At the end of the day, like I think the more positive you are, the better life you'll have. It's really that simple. That's all I can say. And it sounds like weird or cliche or whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's if you have been living in negativity and you look at things like, oh, what if she does this, or what if this happens, or I don't think I'll get this. Like, take a self right now and reflect on like how you think about things, and has that been working for you? Most likely you're gonna say no. So why don't you flip that, and instead of saying, oh, what if this happens, be like, oh, it'll work out regardless. Like even if I don't get it, like I know something better will come from this. Like just looking at situations from that, like perspective is everything. Oh, I could preach this all day and I could just keep rambling right now, but perspective is everything, literally everything. Keep that in mind. Your perception of whatever it is will become your reality. If you're watching this, please just stay positive. If you're going through it, have a good perspective on that situation, even if it is detrimental to you. Like someone died in the family, you're depressed, you just got broken up with, whatever the case may be. Look at it like, okay, yes, this happened, but it's gonna make me stronger. And that might be hard to see when you're in that moment because your feelings are so strong with the situation, but just know you will come out stronger if you push through this. And I can attest to that, and I will drop a video in the future on what I went through to kind of open myself up and be more aware of what I'm doing and all that kind of stuff. To be brutally honest, like I don't feel like 100% comfortable talking about that right now, because that's something I still need to work through for myself. Um, but at the end of the day, like I said, it happened for a reason. And the way I see it, it made me the person that I'm envisioning in the future. So even if it does hurt or whatever the case is, like it happened for a reason. I'm thankful for it, honestly. Like, because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't be the person that I aspire to be. So it is what it is. That's just life. Um, but yeah, perspective is key. Positivity is key, and be patient. Things will just happen in your life, and you'll be like, huh, this is weird. But at the end of the day, you look back, you're like, oh, that's why it happened, because I'm thinking like this. Opportunities are coming my way, people are coming my way, whatever. Everything's just going your way, and you're like, huh, this is nice. Anyway, I hope this kind of helped you guys out in whatever way it did. I just come on here to ramble and try to help anyone out in any way I can, because this life game, it's difficult at times. It gets frustrating, but just staying positive is just the one thing that's helped me get through so much stuff as of recent. And to be honest, I'm not where I want to be at all, but I'm where I'm supposed to be. That's how I see it. I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. I know I'll get to where I want to be because I am hungry, I am driven, I am him. All right. Anyway, stay blessed, stay positive, and as always, keep grinding. Peace.